Thank you for that live report. Local police departments will start to see the effects from a state law enacted 2 years ago following those nationwide protests against the killings of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor at the hands of police officers.
Western Mass News reporter Paris Dunford joins us live after talking to multiple police departments and legislators. Paris, what did you learn?
Chris, Mary, that police reform bill passed in 2020 requires more training of local police officers and across the state. Now, more training does sound like a good thing, but local legislators say the problem is that the state didn't provide that funding, and it's already affecting police departments like here in West Springfield. In 2020, Massachusetts legislators passed the Act relative to justice, equity, and accountability in law enforcement in the Commonwealth. This bill is police reform legislation, and in part, it requires more training of officers.
Training is a really good thing, and I think members of law enforcement will tell you that, but one, it has to be funded.
State Senator John Velas was one of the few Democrats who did not agree with this bill and did not vote to pass it. He says that's because his colleagues rushed the bill and did not consider the individual police departments.
It's a one-size-fits-all approach. Boston's not Holyoke, Holyoke's not Springfield, Springfield's not Russell. Each department is different. Each department's funding is different. Each department's ability to fund is different.
In this legislation, all police officers are required to have the same amount of training, which is a full police academy experience. By July 1st, all officers with last names A through H have to complete this training, and by June 2023, all other officers will have to be completed with their training. This raises some issues for the Westfield Police Department since they have an auxiliary officer team. Those men and women volunteer their time to help the police department.
There's many things that they do that we couldn't do without them. Mainly special events and augmenting our patrol force when, we're short. If there's maybe a weather-related emergency or some other type of thing where we need more bodies and we need them quickly.
Chief of Police Lawrence Valerie tells Western Mass News there are about 22 auxiliary officers who did not go to what's called a bridge academy, and to send them would cost $3,000 a person.
I think if push came to shove that, we probably would if we could guarantee that we could keep them, but the biggest issue is how much do these men and women want to keep investing to come out here and do what they do for free.
Now they'll have to hire more officers to fill this void, something they already struggle to do. An officer with the West Springfield Police Department says they are running into their own issues. Getting their officers up to state standard costs them $4,200 a person. Plus, then they have ammunition costs, gas for the cruiser, etc. And most of the men and women going through this extensive training are only part-time police officers with other jobs. Again, now the men and women who fall into this category have to complete that training by the end of this month, and then the other half have to complete their training by June 2023. Reporting live in West Springfield, Paris Dunford for Western Mass News.